A brutal sectarian bloodbath and, according to the UN, the worst humanitarian crisis the world has seen in decades. The grim reality for Syria, where the conflict has now entered its fourth year. International mediators have so far failed to broker a roadmap to peace in the Arab country. The number of those killed is so high that the UN stopped counting months ago after the figure topped the 100,000 mark. More than 2 million Syrians have sought refuge in neighbouring countries, with more than 6 million displaced inside Syria. Civilians have been hit the hardest. Most of the refugees are women and children. We spoke with one Syrian whose family were targeted by Islamists for supporting the government.
There's been a lot of losses. I lost 2 sons and my wife is still under threat just because I spoke my mind. When the crisis started, the opposition threatened to kill my son. We're living in our own country, and then the opposition came and wanted to kill him. They searched for him and they knew where he was. Then they came for him, but they only succeeded in killing 2 of his brothers. This is a picture of my son in a Turkish newspaper, where it promises $5 million for his death. This is in Turkey, where they're calling for freedom.
Syria's economy and infrastructure have been devastated by 3 years of war. 60% of Syrians now live in poverty, and less than half of the population even have a job. The country's once rich cultural heritage lies in ruins, with museums looted and archaeological sites smashed by shelling. One Damascus resident told us his young children were forced to work to put food on the table.
The life of me and my children has changed 180 degrees since the first days of the Syrian crisis up to now. I can add that I left all I gained in my life in the destroyed region of Sed Zainab, and now I can't get my own bread. I have to struggle for food on a day-to-day basis. I used to be a construction manager. Now my children are working. I have sons and daughters, and I have some money from my construction work. I left my region back in 2012 with very little money in my pocket and my car, which I still had to pay off. Between then and now, if it wasn't for my kids working and helping me somehow, I wouldn't be able to feed them. I was disabled when my house was hit by mortar and destroyed. My car was also damaged, so I can't help my children because I can walk only with walking sticks. Probably I look fine, but I'm disabled and cannot work.